Greetings, YouTube. First and foremost, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name is Lieutenant Gold, coming at you guys with a team builder for the week 1 of the PCL D-League. Super duper excited. Sorry for the sniffles, by the way. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. Even though it's like 95 degrees over here, I somehow got a cold, and it sucks. Stay vaccinated, kids. Uh, let me pop on my team as well as my opponent's team. It's gonna be on the right hand side, so you can see it from now. So my team is going to be Genesect, Gligar, Latios, Serperior, Mega Gardevoir, Conkeldurr, Jolteon, Crocodile, Salazzle, Jellicent, and Kecleon. And I am facing Zucifer and the Detroit Magneton. His team is going to be busted, and that is partially my fault because I basically handed the man Lando T with Protean Grand, Mega Gallade, Lando T, like I mentioned, Fortress, Jirachi, Hydreigon, Rotom Heat, Crobat, Oromatisse, Palossand, Articuno. This man is freaking advanced. He is off the ground. He has so many ground immunities with 2 levitators, 2 flying types, 3 flying types. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty good team too. I think he doesn't have a really good switch into electric types, but he does have 2 ground types, so I don't know. Anyways, let's get into the team I built for this week. Shoutouts to Dai for helping me with a couple sets, as well as JB for some of the nicknames, as well as a couple sets. Sorry about that. Anyway, so let's go with the first mon, Salazzle. If you look at this, is going to be a very annoying set. I took some handy dandy notes here. Yeah, but this Salazzle is going to be made to outspeed Mega Gallade. Over here, it's going to be with the bulk that's invested. It's going to be able to live one water shuriken, or I guess 1 set of water shurikens from Greninja, as well as a psychic from Oromatisse, just in case he brings like offensive Oromatisse for some reason. And the 20 special attack allows me to 2-ko a Spadef Jirachi. Looking at his team, I was expecting like a mix E-Belt or Life Orb Greninja, somewhat of a Scarf Lando T, SD3 attacks Gallade, Flinch Rachi, or Scarf Rachi if he didn't bring Lando T. And I was expecting probably a Romatisse. Actually, not really. Romatisse wouldn't make sense. I was definitely expecting the Rotom Heat though. I feel like that paired up for my team really well. And a Spadef Jirachi actually makes more sense. Yeah, so Protean Grand, Gallade, Lando, Fortress, Spadef Jirachi, and a Rotom Heat. Those were the 6 I was expecting personally. And then we'll see on the team builder if he brought that or not. As for me, so Salazzle, Protect, Substitute, Toxic, Flamethrower. This mon just annoys the crap out of him. He does not like this Pokemon. His only fire switching is gonna be Hydreigon and Protean Grand, which Protean Grand doesn't stay a water type for 3/4 of the time, depending on his moveset, or 2/2 of the time, depending on his moveset. And it was kind of just here to Toxic and then Protect Sub, just to be annoying as hell, basically. Just be bulky, just be there, Toxic, wear down his team. I felt like his team was pretty bulky, so wearing it down would have been nice. So that's why, actually this was Dai's set, or that's what he suggested to me, and then I just kind of tweaked it, fixed up the EVs and stuff like that. But he was the one that suggested it to me. Next up, we're gonna go with Scarf Genesect, because it's a Genesect. What other set can I bring? With the moves of U-Turn, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Iron Head. Now it's a mixed set because Iron Head, either 2-kos or O-kos, a Aromatisse, depending on the spread, and then if I get the download boosts, I could pretty much just either clean up late game. U-Turn is great for momentum. Speed, I believe, was for Hydreigon. Yeah, for max speed, Hydreigon or Lando, just in case they were Scarf too. And then yes, Ice Beam Flamethrower just kind of does really good damage versus him. And like I said, Iron Head just is to chip down the Aromatisse. Because if I go on the Aromatisse, because it has such a high Spadef, I would get the attack boost and OHKO it. So, yeah. And then same, I think, Ice Beam or Flamethrower if I wanted to Spadef Rachi. I still had a chance to 2-ko. and then U-turn would Oko Greninja if because I outsped. So that's gonna be that. Next up, we're gonna have round 2 God himself, the Gligar. Originally, I had Stealth Rocks over Defog because I felt like rocks would pressure him pretty easily, and I made a last minute decision. I think it was like a couple hours before the game. I decided to put Defog just because I didn't want my team to be chipped down too easily. So, and that's gonna be pretty annoying actually to when the game comes in, because I kind of wished rocks were up at some point. But this very Asian spread is so it can live a Hydro from Greninja. It could live a Hydro from Greninja. It can eat an Ice Punch from Mega Gallade. With U-turn, it's gonna be a great pivot because it outspeeds its slow Pokemons like Articuno, Palisand, Aromatisse, Rotom Heat if he's very defensive, Fortress. So it could pivot on a good half of his team, which is pretty nice. And on Earthquake, it's just for chip damage. I didn't really know what else to put on there, so I thought Earthquake would be nice because he has 2 steel types. Mainly for Rachi because I know I needed to be weakened it. And then the 12 speed is just in case he crept for Gligar. That way I had a little bit of extra speed for that pivot I was talking about. But yeah, it's very surprising how this can live like a Specs Hydro Pump from Greninja. This thing is awesome, man. It's awesome. I have really high expectations for Gligar. Oops, sorry about that. Next up, Jolteon. E-Belt with enough speed for, I want to say, pretty much anything on his team besides Choice Scarfers. I believe this was for the Mega Gallade, I want to say. I completely forgot that Crobat was also base 130 speed, but although I didn't feel like he would try to outspeed it as well. He would try to speed tie with me because he would switch out every time unless he was Scarf, and by then I would not speed anyways. This is a great Volturn core with both Gligar and Scarf Genesect as well, so this is pretty nice. Thunderbolt just kind of hits his team very well. Like, he has a Crobat, he has Articuno, things like that. HP Ice hits both of his ground types. It hits his Hydreigon. HP Ice, I think even with Yachi Berry, if he was Yachi on the Lando T, it still did like 70% with Expert Belt, which is pretty nice. And week 1 Synchronoise boys, I was very after I built my team, because I had Shadow Ball initially for the Jirachi, I realized that I didn't have a lot for Rotom Heat. So I wanted to make sure that Jolteon wasn't walled completely by Rotom Heat, so I decided to put Synchronize on it. If he was a Scarf set, for example, if he was a Scarf set, then Synchronize it about like 30 to 40%. So with Rocks up, it would 2-kill, which is pretty nice. But I didn't have Rocks. That was my initial calcs before I took out the Rocks, and I didn't think about it when I put Defog. And you'll see if that comes into play or not. But yeah, that's gonna be the Jolteon. Next up, we have Soldu Latios with Calm Mind, Ice Beam, Roost, and Dragon Pulse. Jesus Lord. This was mainly, it could set up pretty easily on a lot of his Pokemons and kind of just sweep. Things like Protein Grand if he was locked. Let's say if it was Specs, it was locked into a Water type move. This could set up pretty easily. Things like if Hydreigon was Scarf and he was mine 2 special attack, I could eat like 3 of those, which is pretty nice. Jirachi if he wasn't Scarf. To some extent Lando, or yeah, Rotom Heat, Crobat, Fortress was definitely set up fodder. And then Ice Beam, Dragon Pulse. I hesitated a lot between Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. But Ice Beam kind of hit his team everywhere, on all sides. So I didn't need. I know I had Soldu. Soldu was mainly for Dragon Pulse because it made sure that at +1 I Oko a Hydreigon, I believe. Otherwise, it was a roll, and I didn't want to go for the roll. So that's where Soldu comes from. But yeah, just max. The speed was going to be enough for Mega Gallade. Let's see. What else does it have? Oh yeah, and yeah, like I said, it it basically could, if he wasn't specs, or if he was locked into Dark Pulse with Gren, even if he was specs, I could technically still 1v1 it, because this boy is thick, after one combine. Because if he goes for the Dark Pulse, I think I took like 60%, I believe, or 50%, and then I could Calm Mind on it, and then just roost, so, yeah. And then last but not least, we're going to have Conkeldurr, Magnetons. Shout out to JB for that nickname, by the way. Definitely a cool nickname. And this set, man, this set is pretty interesting. This basically, I had Jellicent at first, but I didn't really like Jellicent just because it kind of made sure that Gwen could click Dark Pulse without, for free. Basically, there was no downside for him clicking Dark Pulse. So that's why I wanted to bring Conkeldurr. This thing could eat hits from Conk very easily. It can eat pumps. Oh, I don't know if you can hear the dogs, but yeah, I apologize. Payapa Berry is made so that just in case it's extra sensory, Greninja, then I think I take like 60%, and I could Drain Punch him and just kind of kill. I could, knock off, and then go for Mach Punch and kill. If he's in this, for example, and he's locked into Dark Pulse, Drain Punch would kill, or if he's a Water type, Drain Punch into Mach Punch would kill as well, which is pretty nice. Let's see. I also live a Moonblast from Aromatisse, and I too go with Poison Jab, which is pretty nice, and I will always have speed, unless he's like very speed invested. And then the Payapa Berry also helps with Mega Gallade, where if he goes for Psycho Cut or Zen Headbutt, I'm only going to be taking about 40-ish%. 40, well, there's strong boys, so maybe, I think the roll was 60, and then if he was like a Scarfrachi, it would be like 40% was Zen Headbutt, which is pretty nice. I didn't really do too much to Mega Gallade. I think Knockoff did about 40%, but it's a thought that counts, right? It's a thought that counts, obviously. But yeah, this is just kind of a good check to Protean Gren if he was Assassin's 3 for this mon, and for Mega Gallade, just in case I need to be chipped it down and then go to something else. Yeah, that's gonna round up the squad. I'll see you guys. I don't know if I'm uploading this either on the day before or on the video. Looking at my schedule and how sick I am is probably going to be attached to the video, but let me know if you guys want 2 separate videos for next time. That's definitely plausible. I could definitely make that happen for you guys if that's what you guys want. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys for the battle. Peace. Alrighty, and here we are for the battle portion of this video. Sorry I'm feeling still a little bit under the weather. Obviously recording this a couple days after the team builder, but still feeling a little sick. Well, you can kind of hear a little less, but yeah, excuse the sniffles. And before I get into the battle as well, huge thanks to JB for the layout and everything. Definitely could not happen without him. So I'm super duper grateful for this man. I mean, this man pulled the layout out of his ass and it looks great. Next week I'll have all the mons just kind of fade out. I just didn't have the time to do it this week. I would definitely try to have that for you guys next week. In the meantime, let's get into the battle. If you guys don't remember from the team builder, I have a Scarf Genesect, I'll have a Bulky Salazzle, a Spidef Gligar, 4 attacks, E-Belt Jolteon, a Calm Mind Roost, 2 attacks, Latios, and a Payapa Berry, very bulky Conkeldurr. And my opponent brought the Greninja, which I think is going to be either E-Belts with Mixed. He brought the Lando, which I think is either going to be Scarf or Z-Move. He brought the Crobat, which actually I don't see as a good matchup versus me, personally. I have things like Latios, I have things like Jolteon. He brought Crobat, which could be special. I'm not too sure with Heat Wave, for example, to hit Genesect. He brought Articuno, which I definitely did not expect. I feel like Articuno did not do a lot, so I didn't really actually prep for it. But anyways, he brought Gallade, which I'm expecting to be 3 attacks Gallade, and he brought Jirachi, which from this build would probably either be Scarf if Lando's not Scarf, or very Spidef, in my opinion. But yeah, so like I said, I was definitely not expecting um, these two monsters, both the Crobat and Articuno. This man brought, yeah, it's weird. He brought all three of his flying types. This man's over here, Bird Keeper, Zucifer over here. Uh, um, but I wanted to lead Genesect just because I could kind of just gauge for his lead. So if, for example, I lead Genesect and he leads Jirachi, I would hard switch, predicting Scarf, for example. Otherwise, I could kind of U-turn pretty freely, or I could kind of fire off a Thunderbolt or an Ice Beam, depending on if it's Lando or if it's the other two flying types. So yeah, we'll see. He decided to lead with Greninja, and then we'll see how that's gonna go. I do feel like Lottie can set up pretty easily on things like Crobat and potentially Jirachi as well. It gives me, making it really, really bulky. As the battle is going to come in right here, and we're going to have our boy Zucifer go ahead challenge. So I'm going to lead Genesect, like I said. Shout out to you if you know that, remember that nickname. He's going to lead Greninja. So I'm like, alright, well, I could Oko this with U-turn. I get the special attack boost, which is fine. Like I said, I U-turn with, and he Scarf. He is Scarf Greninja. Why? Anyways, Scarf Greninja, gonna HP fire my Genesect, draw my S here, turn 1. Now I know he is going to be Scarf, so I could go into Latios pretty easily. Go ahead and go for Calm Mind, see what his switching is. He goes hard Articuno. I'm like, alright, I know Articuno's pretty bulky, but it's definitely something I could handle pretty well. I'm gonna go for that Calm Mind, get that special attack and special defense boost. Be nice and bulky. And he's going to actually, I'm gonna go for second Calm Mind because I am faster. Go for that second Calm Mind, +2 action up in here. So I'm expecting a freeze dry to do about maybe 25-ish%, as he's gonna go for toxic. I don't know. I felt like a bulky toxic Articuno wasn't gonna do too much to my team when I have a steel type obviously, but I have an immunity mon, and I'll have a Conkeldurr as well with guts, but that's fine. That's his bring, and it definitely worked against me because I did not prefer Articuno whatsoever. But yeah, he's gonna be protect. He's gonna be very annoying. He's doing to me what I wanted it to do to him with Salazzle. He's gonna be freeze dry, roost, toxic, protect, which is, and then like max F if I remember correctly. So this is gonna be pretty annoying. It's gonna wear down my Latios very efficiently to a point where I decided to switch out because there's not much I can do. I predicted the protect. I'm gonna go into my Salazzle. And just hit roost, which both work. So he's gonna get back to full health. I basically lost half my Latios and set up for no reason, which is great. I'm expecting to switch as I click substitute. He's gonna switch into the Lando, obviously. Get intimidated, although it doesn't really matter to me. I go for that sub, and if I'm faster, I could actually 1v1 this Lando with both protect toxic and substitute. So I'm gonna go for that toxic here. Make sure that this Lando could be well down because my team doesn't really appreciate this one. It's a Lando, which I gave him. Be grateful, Lucifer. I handed you that Lando, buddy. He's gonna go ahead and Earthquake. It's obviously gonna break my sub. This thing blows back Salazzle to no end. Yeah, as I'm gonna rack up that toxic poison damage on him. Gonna go for protect. I'm assuming he was either, just to see if he's choice locked or not, which he U-turns, so that tells me he's not Scarf. So that means I can expect Scarfachi, for example. But I don't know actually why he would reveal not Scarf to me. Maybe predicting a switch. As I'm gonna go for another substitute on the Earthquake. Yeah. If you wanted momentum, you should have went for U-turn again, in my opinion. But anyways, he's gonna break my sub. I lost about, I want to say about 30-ish% after the Black Surge is gonna come in, so I didn't really lose too much health. I'm still relatively healthy, as he's gonna lose about a little bit more than that. I predict him to just hard switch out, so I go for substitute again, as he's gonna go into his Crobat. Crobat's such a cool mod, dude. So I'm gonna get this sub up, make sure I am, behind the sub. And this is another time where I fuck up and totally forget about Infiltrator. I was like, why would he go Crobat? Yeah, totally forgot about Infiltrator. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna toxic exploit his toxic type. I'm gonna flex on him, show him what corrosion does. No, just drops. So yeah, so Salazzle's gonna go. I go hard into my Jolteon. I'm like, hopefully he's not max speed. Um, Volt Switch / Thunderbolt is pretty free, so is HP Ice. So I decided to go for that HP Ice. Now predicting either the Lando to come in or for him to just stay in. As he's gonna be Yachi Berry, and this is gonna be. I think I was modest this week. I forgot. I'm so sorry. That's gonna do 50%. So this man is also max Spadef Lando. But him going hard Lando on the Jolteon means he's essentially just sacking it. So I'm gonna go for another HP Ice. No need to overpredict. I could also fake a Choice Scarf or a Choice Specs, respectively. As he's going to go into Jirachi. I stay in and go for the Volt Switch just to see if he was Scarf, which he was not. So this man brought only Choice Scarf for Ninja, which is kind of weird. And as I'm going to go into the round 2 god himself, gonna go into Gligar. He's gonna go for Zen Headbutt, and I'm gonna eat that, dude. That did 0 damage. This is where I wish I had Stealth Rocks. I could have whittled his team down a bit more efficiently, I think. And look at Gligar eating a ×4 super effective hit, dude. This man chewed it up like it was just another breakfast on Saturday morning. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go into my Lottie. Just kind of, I need to whittle this mon down, Jirachi down. Dragon Pulse would put it in a range that Thunderbolt from my Jolteon can kill. And that did 0 damage, by the way. He's gonna for the Ice Punch and knock me out. Get another kill from Jirachi. Latios is gonna drop, unfortunately. Thank you for service. I'm gonna go into my Jolteon, like I said, and from the calc that I had, Thunderbolt did half. That was like just a mineral, and did not do half. This boy brought AV Jirachi. And he's gonna get a clean 60 to 65% on me. I'm gonna go for another Thunderbolt, knockout Jirachi. Sorry, big old head guy here, boy. Is he's gonna go Greninja, and I don't really have anything to switch into this. I just have to sack my Jolteon, unfortunately. He's gonna lock himself into the Ice Beam, and obviously my Jolteon's gonna drop. I knew Greninja was gonna be an issue for me, and I did not think of Scarf. It's a good bring on his end. I'm gonna go into my Conkeldurr. I don't expect him to stay in. I'm assuming that the Articuno or the Crobat was gonna come in, one of the 2 flying types. So I'm gonna go ahead and click knockoff. I knew I was playing for differential at this point. I just wanted to make sure that I lock out as many mons as possible. He's gonna go for the Brave Bird. I know I can eat 1 from full, but as you can see, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Good thing I knocked out a Sharpie too, because otherwise I don't think I'd be able to live. Also, I'm gonna knock off again, probably predict just to see. Maybe I could fake a Choice Band, although it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm like, well, maybe if I could get a crit or 2, I could maybe knock him out. Go for the Mach Punch, and that was crit damage. This boy is super duper bulky. Don't sleep on Articuno, kids. Do not sleep on Articuno. Yeah, so basically, he's gonna knock out my Conkeldurr. I'm gonna go into Gligar here. And I wanted to gauge the damage on the Freeze Dried, so see if I could bring it back. I'm gonna go for Roost, just to, like I said, gauge that damage. Although it's kind of just prolonging the available at this point. He's going for the Freeze Dried, and look at the Gligar is just so thick, man. It's just so thick. Technically it was only ×2. I did like 30%, bro. So I'm like, maybe I could 1v1 this guy. I got little shining hope of light going towards me. I'm gonna Roost again, as he's gonna Freeze Dried. I'm not immunity, I'm a Hyper Cutter, but he doesn't know that. get for that roost, and I'm like, alright, let me see if I could do any sort of damage. Maybe I could live a freeze dry from this end. I don't think I could actually, because I was way out of range. As I'm gonna U-turn, and I did like 7% or 7 actual HP, so I'm like, alright, well, R.I.P. the round 2 god. Fallen Warrior. And he's gonna knock out my Gligar, and unfortunately I am gonna lose this match. But yeah, no, that was a great battle. So shout out to Zucifer, definitely a good opponent. Man, this guy didn't even hit the field. Yeah, but that Scarf Gren kind of knocked me out for a loop, turn 1. So that's a bit of my fault, although I understand why he brought it. Things like Scarf Syrup could have definitely came. Well, he has a lot for Scarf Syrup, so maybe not. But things like Scarf Salazzle was definitely a possibility he could have been scared of. So I'm assuming that's why he brought Scarf Greninja, as well as Scarf Genesect, but he had different answers for that too. So there's, there's pros and cons to whatever he decided to bring for whatever reason. Here, let me make sure he pops out. No, okay. So I totally understand. But yeah, so that's gonna be the game. Sorry for the Victory Road Victinis are on their way to 0-1. Unfortunately, not the biggest of victories for us, but we're definitely gonna bounce back. This is just week 1. We still have a whole, I believe, 10 weeks, other 10 weeks ahead of us. And I'm gonna turn up a notch, maybe bring some more heat sets, throw my opponents off as well, and then as soon as I'm feeling better, make sure that I don't sniffle every 3 seconds. In the meantime, if you guys like the video, definitely like and subscribe. We're gonna be battling Ollie and the Bastiodons next week, and that's gonna be pretty exciting. Battling another Greninja, unfortunately, but at least we got those out of the way, right? But yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.